the world of the Flintstones the result of a nuclear bomb? Does George Jetson really live in Fred Flintstone's past? Or are they living at the same time? Okay, everyone knows the Flintstones are a prehistoric family living way in the past, but there are theories floating around that they really live in the future, in a post-apocalyptic world, or that they live below the Jetsons because they choose to live a simpler life. Okay, well, after listening to all those theories on YouTube, here's what I think. If I were so inclined to reject the idea that the Flintstones are what they've been presented as, which is a prehistoric family. And the modern Stone Age family. So let's take the idea that they're actually living in a post-apocalyptic world in the future. What about the fact that Jetsons went back to the past to meet the Flintstones? I've heard others say, well, they just went down to the ground where the Flintstones live or jumped to another world, not exactly another time. But I think it makes better sense if the Jetsons just thought they moved backward in time, but in fact moved forward to their own future. A future that was destroyed by either nuclear war or maybe even an alien invasion. Yeah, think about that. Not only do the Jetsons likely have all kinds of mass destruction type weapons available in their time, but they're traveling around space a lot too, so who knows what kind of alien creatures they may have ticked off. And thus, the resulting consequence was the destruction of all civilization as they knew it. But what about those dinosaurs on the Flintstones, you may ask? Well, I'm going to go with another theory I heard that suggests it was sort of a Jurassic Park scenario. Maybe they eventually revived the dinosaurs at some point from amusement parks, and maybe these dinosaurs were smarter because of the genetic engineering, smart enough to perform tasks on command, which would later be serving mankind in the future of the Flintstones, who no longer had things like electricity. Well, you know, the way the critters on the show became like organic vacuum cleaners, or how elephants use their trunks to deliver hot and cold showers. Well, when you think about it, there's more on the Flintstones cartoon to suggest there is some weird stuff going on than not.
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Like, let's take the fact they celebrate Christmas when the birth of Christ hasn't happened yet. They even have Santa Claus. Well, besides Christmas, they also have TV sets and record players. Just how did those TV sets work without electricity? What kind of tech did they have we were never shown? And the cars, I never got that. They put their feet down and off they go, but then the cars sometimes sounded like they had a motor somewhere. And then the cars didn't always seem to need foot power to get started.
Hold on, pal. Here we go.
I know it's a cartoon, but we are theorizing here. Of course, I think you could argue the Flintstones were just living now in some sort of Westworld scenario off someplace that is manufactured to be more prehistoric in nature. Because I seem to remember Fred and Barney showing up on the Laugh Olympics cartoon series a couple of times. Maybe the Flintstones really did just want to escape the modern world and live in a simpler life. Let's put that aside for now. I heard one theory that suggested that Mr. Gazoo, totally different character, had created the world of the Flintstones. What if he was the one that destroyed the world and sent it back to the Stone Age? Going back to what I was saying before. After all, the Great Gazoo was very powerful, and it was said that he was exiled to Earth after having created a doomsday device. Maybe he had already used it sometime after the Jetsons had lived. Or maybe the way to explain the world of the Flintstones is just magic. The Gazoo may have destroyed the world. Perhaps he also made it possible for TV sets and radios to work without electricity. Cartoon or not, I love taking things down the route of science fiction and fantasy. If you like these wild theories, you might like my cartoonized adventures of Lug Glug and my book series Caveman Comics on sale at Amazon. Ugg is a caveman that falls in love with a time traveler named Dr. Ann, who got lost in prehistoric times due to a rocket ship failure. She ends up creating a time machine years later that allows Ugg and their son Doug to come back to our time where things really get crazy and funny. I made some videos about Ugg you can check out as well on the channel. It's sort of a sci-fi Flintstones, but a little bit more crazy. Oh, if you get a chance, check out my new cat and mouse cartoon on my kids channel, Freddy Cat Cartoons. It's the kind of cartoon I think all ages can get a kick out of. So what do y'all think? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit the bell and the like button. Have a great day.
Certainly. What have I got to lose?
I gotta do?